Hello, my name is Tim. My company is Sports and Touring, and we are Jaguar F-Type specialists. The F-Type, no longer available new, but it was in production for slightly more than a decade. It was offered in a variety of colour palettes with all kinds of optional extras. There were various engine and powertrain options to choose between. They offered a bewildering number of alloy wheel options as well, and of course driver comfort has been enhanced over the F-Type range with the offer of all kinds of little extras in the cockpit to entertain you and keep you comfortable on your journey. And occasionally we see a car where the person who specified it made a series of really intelligent decisions. First, choosing the V8R all-wheel drive. 5 litres of supercharged power, blistering speed and acceleration, amazing handling and road holding. In terms of colour, storm grey or Carpathian grey, one of the most desirable and most in-demand colours in which the F-Type has been offered. Then we come to the options, and Blade, or in Jaguars more recently, and arguably less sexy world, a style 5042 alloy wheels are amongst the costliest wheels ever to be fitted at the factory. And then we look and we see that we've got the black design pack, we've got the beautiful R performance seats with heating and cooling, we've got Meridian surround sound, the full memory seat package and so forth. And we're looking here at a very special F-Type indeed. Let's take a look around. There is the R badge denoting that this is an F-Type with a 5-litre supercharged engine, producing, if we're being precise, 542 horsepower, incredible speed, blistering acceleration, amazing handling, a very intelligent all-wheel drive system which sends torque to the rear axle until it senses that some power is needed at the front of the car as well, and then it delivers that power in a measured and calculated way to make certain that this is one of the surest-footed vehicles on the road. The F-Type looks so brilliant from every angle, doesn't it? Many people talk about the rear view of the convertible in particular, but I like the rear three-quarters view even more, with those beautiful haunches over the rear wheels, really expressing power and speed. And then we come to this particular one. It is in beautiful condition. The alloy wheels have just been freshly refurbished, so a full factory refinish with powder coating and diamond turning, and the beautiful carbon fibre blades there are in perfect condition. The paintwork is glorious. This car has not been through one of those awful mechanical car washes. It's clearly been diligently cared for. Everything is working perfectly. It's passed all of our inspections without a hitch. And it is a beautiful and glorious thing to have here. Let's take a look inside. The car's supplied, of course, with 2 remote key fobs and the owner's book pack, but there's no need to press buttons on the fob to unlock because keyless entry is one of the options on this F-Type. Tap the little button there, the door unlocks, the power fold mirrors move into position, and we can take a look inside. Starting with the door card, which is in fabulous order, no unpleasant marks or blemishes of any kind there. We can see the little badge there telling us that this F-Type has Meridian surround sound, the very top level audio package. And we have the 12-way memory seats with adjustable lumbar support as well. The rest of the cockpit, from the carpets through to these beautiful performance seats in jet leather with the R logo there on the headrest, and the beautiful perforated leather as well, are in great order. Sitting down into the F-Type is always a pleasure. We can absorb this beautiful combination of art and science The F-Type design really has been, I think, at one of Jaguar's proudest moments. And in the cockpit, they've created a very modern, very stylish environment, and yet with ergonomics which work just brilliantly well. Looking around, we've got a handy little stowage between the two seats there, a little net into which you could put your sunglasses, for example. In the center console here, we've got another little stowage with USB sockets, the micro SIM slot and a 12-volt supply. And that's where we've got an iPhone connected up to CarPlay so that we can look at that in a moment. We've got the two drinks holders there. And to explore onwards, let's start up the supercharged V8 with the start button. We'll see the little flying display on the instrument panel, and the center air vent will rise up into position as we do that as well. It's a lovely noise. The F-Type engine note, the exhaust note, really is one of the highlights of the ownership and driving experience. And we'll continue our tour around the cockpit. I'll mention, by the way, the engine is over-revving slightly at the moment to protect the catalytic converter. It'll do that for a short period of time until it's warmed up. Back down here to the center console, we can see we've got the button for the roof. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Eco stop start on off. We've got the spoiler button so that you can raise and lower the spoiler. It comes up and goes down of its own accord at set speeds, but if you're going to wash the car, for example, obviously you want to wash under the spoiler, so do pop it up before you do that. Traction control on off, and the exhaust valve button there, the switchable active sports exhaust, which gives that throatier sound to the engine note. There's the electronic parking brake with hill start assist, and then we come to this beautiful stick shift. It is a glorious thing to hold in your hand. There's a trigger on the front there which enables it, and then with foot on the brake we move back into drive position, and from drive we can go sideways into sport. When you're in sport you can shift up and down using the shift stick like so. You can of course always use the flappy paddles on the steering wheel. That's what I prefer to do because I keep my hands on the wheel then and maintain 100% control of the car while I'm manoeuvring it. Back down here, and we've got the driving mode selector switch. We're in standard driving mode at the moment. If we move it forwards, we go into rain, ice and snow mode. Very useful in a powerful, wide-tired car on slippery roads in the winter. Back into normal driving mode, and then we can go from standard, or as I call it, vanilla mode, into the tutti-frutti world of dynamic driving mode. The checkered flag lights up, the exhaust valves open, and if we have a look at the instrument binnacle, we can see the backlighting has turned red to indicate we're in dynamic mode and we are ready for some sporty driving fun. While we're in dynamic mode, by the way, we can go over here to the screen and go into dynamic I. This enables us to set up our own selection of engine, gear shift, suspension and steering. We can choose between dynamic and comfort in each case. We've also here got the stopwatch in case you're having some fun on the track, a G meter and the pedal position tracker with the graph. Useful if you're having some driving tuition, maybe you go to a track day and someone's going to talk you through your handling of the car. That's a very useful debriefing tool for your instructor if that is the kind of thing that you do. Back down here, and we'll pop out of dynamic mode and take a look at the climate controls. We've got dual zone climate, so passenger and driver can select their own choice of temperatures, and then we have the full cooled and heated seat option in this particular F-Type. Really brilliant. If you've been used to heated seats in the winter and you know how comfortable that is, it is so good to have cooled seats, that flow of cold air against your back when you're driving, especially if you get into a car with black leather seats on a hot sunny day. We have of course got the timed recirculation, and this car has the electrically heated front windscreen, another amazing option that makes life so much easier in the summer. Back up to the infotainment screen. Sorry, the light is shining on it a little bit there. We have of course got Apple CarPlay in this car, which is just there available to us. We can select the various screens in CarPlay, and we can have the combined mode there where you see your sat nav on one half and your music choice and so forth on the other. Very easy to use. We'll go back to the Jaguar screen and the Jaguar mode of operation, you can see we have the variable ambient lighting option on this car, and then of course satellite navigation, the media options which include DAB and FM radio, Bluetooth audio as well, very fully featured. We can access from here the climate screen and direct the airflow as we wish, and we can synchronize those two temperatures as well with the sync button there. And then back to the home screen to see that we've also got, of course, the full Bluetooth telephony on this car, very fully featured and a very easy to use, very user-friendly system, I have to say. Coming over to the steering wheel, we've got the infotainment and Bluetooth buttons on the left thumb pad, the automatic headlamps on the left stalk. Over on the right hand side, cruise control and active speed limiter, and the heated steering wheel, brilliant in the summer, brilliant in the winter on those cold days. And over on the right hand stalk, we've got the rain sensitive wipers. While down here in front of my right knee, we've got the buttons including boot release, fog light, and the lane departure warning system as well. It's all brilliantly put together, very ergonomic, as I say, very user-friendly, and a great environment to sit in. We'll switch the engine off now and have a look at how the roof works. If you have a convertible car, it's really important that the roof is a good one. And by that I mean it's a roof designed to be reliable and swift to operate. I've seen some absolute horrors, notably some German manufacturers who've created incredibly complicated roof mechanisms, which of course then break down or which take far too long to open and close. I think Jaguar made a great job of the F-type roof. We'll see how quick it is to operate and how simple. There's just one button down here on the center console when it's time to put the roof up or down, and you can do this, by the way, even up to 30 miles an hour if you're driving along. Simply pull the button up and the little covers remove themselves so that the roof can unstow from its stowage behind the cockpit. It comes over, moves into position, and latches itself automatically. There are no handles to move manually in order to lock it, and the windows come up, and that in a very few seconds is the car converted from open top motoring to closed roof if, for example, you're driving along on a beautiful day and you see a shower in the distance. Conversely, we're out of the rain shower now, we're sitting at the traffic lights, we know we've got a few moments to spare, and press the button, the windows come down, the roof unlatches and moves into its stowage position behind the cockpit. Those little covers move down into position and the job is complete as the windows wind themselves up again. Again, all over in a very few seconds. The reliability record for F-type convertible roofs is very good, and all in all, I think it's a very fine feature of a very fine sports car. Very few convertibles have enormous boots, and it's certainly true that the F-type convertible boot is not enormous. But actually, there is a good amount of space here. It extends down into that well. It's a decent size here in the main rear compartment of it. And if you look forward, you can see that the boot extends a long way forwards as well there. Either side of that is the folding roof mechanism, but in the centre there is that useful kind of tunnel into which you can place a suitcase. Lots of companies have produced bespoke luggage sets for the F-type convertible, and if you're going to go touring and holidaying, I would recommend one of those because it's a great way to have a good looking luggage set that really works with the shape of the F-type boot. You certainly don't want to put hard-sided suitcases in here, but if you pack soft-sided or one of those bespoke sets of luggage, I think it's fair to say that you could easily go off for a week or two in an F-type convertible without being embarrassed for space. Coming to the passenger side of the car, and again, everything is in beautiful order. The door card is perfect. The tread plate, I dare say, completely unmarked. And the dashboard, center console, and this beautiful performance seat in perforated jet leather is in perfect condition. I dare say that this car has very seldom seen an occupant in this passenger seat. And like the rest of the car, it's in stunningly good order. Under the bonnet, and there is the supercharged V8. In fact, under the plastic cover is the supercharger, and under that is the engine. And that engine, through the 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox, drives this F-Type from 0 to 60 in just 4.1 seconds, and on to a top speed which is artificially limited at 186 miles per hour. Again, you can see under the bonnet everything is in fabulous order, nothing remarkable, nothing out of place. The service history is truly excellent, not even a missed service during the COVID period, and we will be taking the car to our very good friends at Marshall Jaguar in Newbury for its next routine service, ready for handover to the next keeper. But having focused there on the technology and the numbers, I ought to mention that this car is not about those things. It's not about drag racing. It's not about top speeds and 0 to 60 times. It's about the experience that you have here in the driver's seat, the way this car communicates to you what is going on within it and between it and the road, the way it engages you in the driving experience and your progress and your journey. The F-Type isn't just a stunningly good-looking car. It isn't just a brilliant piece of engineering by a great engineering company. It's a car also which has heart and soul and wants to share that heart and soul with you, and does so in just the most amazingly engaging way. So it's been a huge pleasure, as always, to show you this beautiful Jaguar F-Type. We're Sports and Touring. We're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us if you've got any questions, or if you'd like to see this car in person or by video call. We can send you a link to the Google Drive. That's our online folder for this car. We have one for each of our cars, where you can see higher resolution photos, which you can zoom in on, and PDF copies of important documents. If on your buying journey you need to dispose of your existing car, we'll chat to you and give you honest advice about the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you'd like to talk about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA, and we work with a really brilliant broker. Do please take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. I'm ever so proud of the things that our previous customers say about us. And I'll close by saying thank you again for watching. Do please feel free to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we'll look forward to hearing from you very soon indeed.